Next guy up, very funny, Jim Mendrinos.
You got the expectation, very funny, that's a pressure, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't just be mildly funny now I have to go the whole way. Otherwise you're going to go there, he wasn't very funny, he was only somewhat funny. This is amazing. I was actually telling people, you know, I get to perform in my neighborhood, and I get to perform in a bookstore, and I don't know which one of those two things shocked them more. You're doing comedy in Washington Heights. Yeah, you're doing comedy at a bookstore. Yes, there's a bookstore in Washington Heights. Yes, I'm telling you, yes. All three, yes. All three at once, yes.
I think I grew up in a household where my dad told lots of jokes, and my mom was funny. You know, I mean, they both actually had very good senses of humor, but it was definitely, if nothing else, a pun-heavy household, and kind of like had to be paying attention, or just, you know, to be a part of it, or just watch it go by. I had a good summer. I'm not ready to let the summer go. You know, because I love going to the beach on the weekends. The beach is like my salvation.
You can still go to the beach.
Well, yeah, you know, you can go there, but it's you know, it's less appealing when you lie out on the beach with a parka. I think there's nothing better for your self-esteem than going to the beach. Because if you go to the beach, go to Coney Island any day of the summer. And if in 5 minutes you don't see at least 10 people who make you feel better about how you look, then you're just not looking, man. And there were a couple of Cosby albums in the house, and just kind of took off from there, because that was something we could listen to with the family, and that was really nice. Wonderfulness is actually the first album I remember being in the house, and I think there was a 7-inch single of Alan Sherman's Hello Mother, Hello Father. When people know you do comedy, they always want to know who your influences are. I you know, if you point a gun to my head, I'm probably gonna narrow it down to 500, but definitely Cosby, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, definitely with a shot of Robin Williams in there. Robin Williams broke when I was first getting into acting, and I was very impressionable, and was like, oh, this is improv.
You're the shot to my berry, you're the smoke to my high, you're the one I wanna marry.
You're the smoke to my high. Oh, I can't compete, I'm sorry.
Just whatever's funny, it's funny.
And there was a big neon sign that said, authentic, nostalgic 1950s diner. And I went inside and I sat down in the booth. It was like a scene out of Happy Days. That was an old show in the 70s about the 1950s. So they had like Elvis Presley music. The waitress was dressed like she was in the 1950s. And I sat down and the waitress said, excuse me, sonny, can't you read the sign? It says no colors. That means no spics, engines, or niggers. Now get it going. I said, wow, this really is an authentic, nostalgic 1950s diner. Man, it's realistic.
And actually, you know, No Name didn't start from stand-up. That actually started as kind of an acting thing. With this February, we will be marking 20 years since our first show, and our first 6 years we were a sketch comedy troupe at a time when no one did sketch comedy live. Actually, this shirt is 19 years old, and it faded and beat up. And it was over the years that we evolved into the comedy variety thing that we do now.
And Wilbert's car was a sacred thing. Only certain people were allowed to ride in his car. His mother, his sister, his girlfriend. His wife and kids, they were persona non grata from the beginning. When Mabel got a job working as a maid, she was forced to walk or hitchhike the 13 miles back and forth to work each day. Every Friday night, Wilbert would get all dressed up and go out on the town with his woman. They'd ride by the house in his shiny car. Mabel would be sitting out on the porch and see him pass by. She'd just sit there and sing, "Your cheating heart will tell on you."
Now we had people who were coming and wanting to be a part of it, so it's like, well, just keep doing it. And eventually you get into the nuts and bolts of it, and you get like a chemist, want to put these elements together with these elements together, and that's half the fun. So to me, the best thing is if the audience is having a blast, then that's the best. You pull up a seat and just sit back and watch.